So today I'm going to talk about something a little bit different. I was just on YouTube watching some Sonic.exe videos, and I'm going to talk about possibly the most horrifying, or one of the most horrifying EXEs out there, which is Sonic.OMT. So, Sonic.OMT is stated in guides and wikis for the One Last Round games of Sonic.exe. It's stated to be a being of pure energy that's from a different dimension. And it's possibly the most horrifying EXE out there. Some people attribute it to like a better and more modern version of 2011X. I can't really agree with that because 2011X and Sonic.EMT, not EMT, Sonic.OMT, are vastly different in their methods. The only thing that's really common and similar between them is the fact that they both like to toy with the victims of the games and the player. So what does OMT stand for? Well, some people think OMT stands for One More Time, which is one of the games where Sonic.OMT appears. But it actually stands for Outbreak Malware Threat. So it was like I said, it's a being of pure energy, so it kind of floats around in technology and kind of corrupts it, and that's how it came about with the One More Time game. So OMT has often been compared and scaled to Shin Sonic in terms of which Sonic is scarier, and honestly, it's OMT. It's OMT, not even close. Sure, you got Shin Sonic, who's like massive and like the size of a skyscraper in like that one city scene in that one game that it appears in. But then you have Sonic.OMT with like its big mouth and like it's like countless eyes and like it's got like the big fangs and like OMT is basically a scarier version of Sonic.exe. Not even just Lord X, but like the original Sonic.exe, like even before 2011. So obviously I was around in 2011. Well, I was born in 2009, so I would have only been 2 years old by this time. And then 2011 was when Lord X came out. Sonic.x, or Lord X, just called Lord X, just a more like mischievous and malevolent version of Sonic.exe. So one thing you guys don't know about me is that I'm a huge Sonic fan, and like anything Sonic, I love it. So what's the story behind Sonic.OMT? Well, to figure that out, we have to go back to 2011. So, and maybe even further back than that. So in the very first Sonic.exe game, which was basically a redesign and digitized game or digitalized game. It was like a redone version of the first Sonic game. You know, where he's like he's like sitting there and he's got like his finger. Yeah, he's like I can't imitate the face. But in this game, it goes and then it like freezes and his eyes are like black and there's like red in the center, and he's like, and that's Sonic.exe appearing at the beginning of the first Sonic.exe game. So this is obviously before 2011, so I haven't even started talking about 2011X yet. But for Sonic.exe, which is a predecessor to literally any EXE for Sonic, any Sonic.exe, any Sonic EXE or related Sonic monster is based off .exe from that first game. Yeah, so Sonic.exe is horrifying and so is OMT, but like OMT is basically a like revamped version of both the original Sonic.exe and 2011X. And it like takes aspects from both of them. Like it takes like Sonic.exe's like tendencies of toying with its victims, and then it takes Lord X's like methods, which is like killing him in like the most gruesome ways possible. Like there's literally a scene where Sonic.OMT like erupts out of tails and like rips him in half and like comes out of him, and it's crazy. Yeah, so Sonic.OMT is horrifying. What else? Well, the main thing is comparisons between the original .exe and .omt. Some people think that they're the same thing and that OMT is literally just a newer exe, which is true. You could call OMT Sonic.exe, but it's also not at the same time because the name is Outbreak Malware Threat, so it's different. Um, Also, its appearance can vary a lot more than the original EXE. Because the original EXE just looks like Sonic. And it has like the fangs and the eyes and stuff, and the creepy eyes. Because it's a creepy pasta. So it's supposed to look wrong and horrifying. But OMT expands on that with like massive fangs, a bunch of eyes, like a huge smile, and like opens like the intro and he's like, yeah, so yeah, what else should I say about this? Eventually I will do a scaling video for like how powerful different Sonic characters are. The EXCs will probably be included, or probably it'll probably be a playlist actually. So yeah, I'll make a playlist. It'll be called Sonic Stuff, and I'll talk about Sonic stuff. But yeah, this one's about Sonic.OMT. And for anyone that watches my videos, if the thumbnail scares you, I'm going to put up a picture of Sonic.OMT as the thumbnail. So if the thumbnail scares you, then just don't watch it. But like, if you guys are scared of the XCs, then sure, okay. You don't have to watch it. I'm not making you watch it, but like, this is interesting. So yeah. Yeah, so that's a pretty bare bones understanding. But yeah. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. And I will put up more Sonic base videos soon. See you guys in the next one.